So hey there, have you been thinking about buying a new construction home here in Southern California? Well, do you know what the first step is before you start looking for a new home? It is how to get qualified. So my name is Steve Enchin and I am your Southern California new home expert, and I'm here to guide you through this process of learning how you can qualify to buy a new home. So we're going to get right into it now, starting with credit scores. So if you're looking to buy a new home, your credit needs to be at a certain level in order to qualify with the mortgage lender. So typically, what we're looking for is a credit score of at least 580. Now, ideally, the higher the better. The higher the credit score, the lower the interest rate, and then the lower the monthly payment. Now, you can have a credit score potentially as low as 500 if your income is high enough and you have sufficient cash reserves. But typically we're looking at 580 or up, the higher the better. Second thing we're looking for are two different ratios. That is the housing debt to your monthly gross income. So that's the total amount of your home costs, your mortgage, your property taxes, your insurance, your HOA, etc. All of that added up as a percentage of your monthly income. And then also the other is the total debt. So your housing cost plus other debt, which could be student loans, credit cards, automobile loans, leases, etc. All of those added together as a percent of your total debt. So for housing, no more than about 31% of your total monthly income. And then for total debt, really no more than 43%. Those are guidelines for the lenders, but they're also safe places for you to be in as a homeowner so you don't get overextended. Now, depending on your credit score, depending on your income, there is some flexibility around these numbers, but not a whole lot. So, income. What is income, right? Good question. So, basically, salary. If you're self-employed, it can be self-employed income in terms of your profits, income from investments, and it can also be what we call non-standard or non-traditional income, which could be Social Security, disability, and other non-standard income. Hey, if you work for a tech company and you have maybe not the best salary, but you have these amazing benefits with like stock options, you can use those stock options to qualify as part of your income. So let me know, send me a direct message, text or call me. I'll have my contact information later and I'll guide you through that process on how to actually use your stock options. But typically we're looking at W-2 income. We're looking at your self-employed profits, investments, and then other things like that. So how much do you need to earn in order to afford a new construction home here in Southern California? So I'm going to put up an example on the screen, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a typical new construction home, generally in the Inland Empire, in a single family detached home. It's going to be $625,000. Now, if you're looking in Orange County, hey, the home prices are going to be higher than $625,000. If you're looking for in LA County, the same thing. They are going to be higher, but I wanted to give you sort of a rough, reasonable number that we can go by. So $625,000 is a reasonable number for the Inland Empire. And then I'm going to make an example with 5% down, and then we're going to look at today's interest rates, 7.75%. Now, if you're watching this video in 6 months or a year from now, the interest rates may be lower, but we're going to go with what we have today. And we're going to look at the permanent interest rate. Now, with new construction homes, there are options for discount interest rates over the first few years, but you need to qualify on the permanent rate, not the temporary rate. So for that reason, I'm going to go with the 7.75% to run these numbers. Now, looking at the screen, we have our principal and interest. That's our mortgage. We have mortgage insurance because we have a lower down payment. You have property taxes, home insurance. That's your property and casualty insurance for the home, and for HOA, because typically most new homes here in Southern California will have an HOA of some kind or another. So that gives us a total monthly payment of about $5,800. So what does that mean? How much money do you need to earn in order to afford this $625,000 home? So let's run through some math. I have it up on the screen here. So if your housing payment is $5,849, so that is 31% of what? Well, it turns out it's $18,867. So 31% of $18,867 is $5,849. So that means that in order to afford this $625,000 home with 5% down, you would have to earn $18,867 gross monthly household income. So that's the combined income of everyone borrowing to buy the home, everyone in the household. And the maximum monthly debt that you can have is $5,200. Obviously, if you have less debt, you can probably get away with a little bit less income, but these are sort of the maximum numbers to show you what you need to earn and how much debt you can have in order to afford that $625,000 home. So those are the numbers that we're dealing with. Obviously, the lower the home price, the less income you need to have to qualify, and the higher the home price, the more income you need to qualify. So these are the basic requirements, and I wanted to outline these because I've had so many conversations with folks who have said, hey, I want to buy this new construction home, but I only make, like $8,000 a month or $7,000 a month. And unfortunately, just mathematically, it's just not possible. So, I can't do anything about housing affordability. I wish I could, but these are the numbers we have to work with in order to qualify to buy a new home. So what are the next steps? So before we start going out to look at new construction homes and models, you want to put a checklist together to see kind of where you're sitting and make sure you have all your documents ready in case you do want to move forward. So the first thing you want to do is get a copy of your credit report. Federal law says that you're entitled to a free credit report every year, and you should be ordering that credit report every year and looking for errors. If there's anything in that report that should not be there, you need to file a claim and get it off. You want to make sure that your credit report is clean and everything there is correct. Next, you want to order a free FICO report to get a general idea of your current credit score. Now, keep in mind that these free FICO reports that you can get online, like Credit Karma and other places like that, well, those are pretty optimistic numbers. They don't always translate exactly to what your real credit, your FICO score is. They're a little bit optimistic, but it'll give you a general idea. It's not going to give you a number of 750 if your real number is like 620. It's not going to be off by that much, but it may be off by like 10, 15 points. So just keep that in mind. And next thing is gather your documents. You want to have all of your income information, your monthly debt information, and then have your tax information as well, because you'll need those documents in order to apply for the mortgage if you decide to move forward with your purchase. So I hope this information has been helpful. If you do have any questions, please comment below. My contact information is also up on the screen. So if you do have specific questions about your specific circumstances, that's confidential. Don't post it in the video, please. Send me a text message, an email, or give me a call so we can talk about your situation one-on-one. But if you do have general questions about new construction homes or qualifying, please go ahead and post below. We can have a conversation about it. So hope this information has been helpful. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.